केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
मुझे विश्वास है इन 5 राज्यों के चुनाव में भी भाजपा ऐतिहासिक जीत की हैट्रिक लगाने जा रही है।
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the EVMs have been sealed across 4 states and 1 union territory. When these seals break on the 4th of May, it will be a verdict whose impact will go way beyond 2026. Come to think of it, this is as close as it gets to a mini national showdown. On the one side is the BJP pushing to expand its footprint. On the other, the core of the India alliance, the Congress, the Trinamool Congress, the DMK and the left. The only difference this time is that they are fighting separately for their own personal turfs. For the Saffron Party, it's about tightening and extending their dominance. For the opposition, it's about holding ground and a national future. From the West Bengal state to Tamil Nadu, from Kerala to Assam, the stakes are very, very high this time around, ladies and gentlemen. The voters have spoken and it's now time for predictions. And the first exit poll prediction of the day came from the Prime Minister himself. After offering prayers at Kashi Vishwanath while inaugurating the Ganga Expressway in Uttar Pradesh, Prime Minister said his party will hit a hat-trick by winning all 5 states, adding to its recent wins in Bihar.
मुझे विश्वास है इन 5 राज्यों के चुनाव में भी भाजपा ऐतिहासिक जीत की हैट्रिक लगाने जा रही है। पिछले 6-7 दशक में जो नहीं हुआ, जिसकी कल्पना भी मुश्किल थी, वैसे निर्भीक वातावरण में बंगाल में इस बार वोटिंग हो रहा है। लोग भय मुक्त होकर वोट दे रहे हैं।
The most politically charged of all contests has definitely been West Bengal. Both phases have seen a bumper turnout, highest ever since independence in 1947. Fighting for a 4th term, Mamata Banerjee says she's confident of a comeback with 2/3 majority. But even as she flaunts a victory sign after casting a vote in Bhawanipur, the words betray some amount of nervousness. Is this confidence or concern? You, the viewer, can be the judge.
CRPF cannot torture like this. See, no state police is there.
None of the booths are safe.
None of the booths. All they have captured. Is it their duty? They should secure the border. Instead of secure the border, they are securing one political party.
CRPF, anything on CRPF? Ma'am, violence is happening, ma'am.
This is because of CRPF. हमारा पास सब जानकारी है।
INS के जो वॉरशिप है और जो रफेल है वो डिप्लॉय करना बाकी है। आप वो भी कर दो। जो चीज आपको बांग्लादेश और पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ करना चाहिए वो आप बंगाल के लोगों के खिलाफ कर रहे हो और हमें बांग्लादेशी बुलाते हो। मैंने जो बोला है 1 साल पहले कि तृणमूल का वोट परसेंटेज और जितने सीट 21 पे मिला था उससे ज्यादा और बड़ा बहुमत से तृणमूल चौथी बार सरकार बनाने जा रही है।
TMC chief and her heir apparent Abhishek Banerjee have left no stones unturned in gunning for the central forces, calling them BJP agents, accusing them of booth capturing and harassment. Today, Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray leader Sanjay Raut compared the security shield to terrorism, and guess who came to CAPF's defense? Well, the Congress party.
कोई भी चुनाव में अगर कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी, राजनीतिक दल जो केंद्र में सत्ता में है, वो अगर ताकत लगाती है तो उसमें कोई गलत बात नहीं है, लेकिन इसे मैं ताकत नहीं कहता। ये एक प्रकार का टेररिज्म है जो पश्चिम बंगाल में चल रहा है।
इस बार चुनाव में लोग भारी संख्या में शिरकत कर रहे हैं। वजह यह है कि आम लोगों को लगता है कि इस बार भारी संख्या में सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस, मतलब केंद्रीय बल की जो लोग हैं, ये तैनात है। लोगों को भरोसा जरूर होते हैं।
Despite the security blanket, there were sporadic incidents of violence in Phase 2 in Falta, a seat that has shot to headlines because of Singham versus Pushpa showdown. BJP alleged that its election symbol on EVMs had been taped over in many booths. Undeterred, a confident Shubhendu Adhikari said that BJP is set to sweep with over 180 seats. His insurance policy, fearless Hindu voters.
मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द एग्जिट पोल्स है, लेकिन कॉन्टेस्ट नेक टू नेक है। कैसे देखते हैं?
कोई नेक टू नेक नहीं।
आपको कितना एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं?
180 प्लस।
180 प्लस आप। और जो वायलेंस का क्या रोल देखते हैं इसमें सर?
हाँ,
वायलेंस इस तरह से हुआ है, क्या देखते हैं? लोग वोटर डरे होंगे या नहीं आए हैं बाहर?
सब वो मरेगा तो एक दिन मरेगा ना। हिंदू लोग आज लड़ लिया ना, डू और डाई।
भवानीपुर में कितना
मरेगा तो मार के ही।
भवानीपुर में कितना?
ईवीएम को दबा के मर जाऊंगा। हिंदू का आवाज ही था, मरना है, रिफ्यूजी बनना है तो आखिरी चुनाव में मार के ही मरूंगा। कैसे मारूंगा? हाथ से नहीं, बटन दबा।
Well, even though it is 4 states that have gone to polls and 1 union territory, the focus is on Bengal, and that brings me to the predictions made by the pollsters for Bengal. Let's take a look at poll numbers for West Bengal. First up, ladies and gentlemen, and those numbers on your screen clearly tell you the story. JVC, well, thinks the BJP is ahead of the Trinamool Congress, and Matri's People's Pulse, which gives TMC the maximum, Janmat poll, which gives TMC. The others are hedging their bets and keeping the BJP ahead. And if you look at the average poll numbers, 136 to 150 for Trinamool Congress, 139 to 153 for the BJP. Well, CPM 0 to 1, Congress 0 to 1. Khela hoi geche. That's really how it is stacked as far as Bengal is concerned. Too close for comfort. Sleepless nights are ensured for everybody in the Trinamool Congress and the BJP, and I think all journalists who are covering these elections. We're going to have sleepless nights. But joining me tonight on this debate to look at Bengal first, joined by Pradeep Gupta. He is the chairman of Access My India Polls. JVC Sriram with us, who's done our poll, JVC's poll. Harshvardhan Tripathi, senior journalist. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, scientist, political commentator. Sabha Naqvi, senior journalist. I don't know how many elections we've done together as journalists. I don't want to give the number away. Our age will begin to tell on our viewers. Sanjay Jha, leader of the Congress party, joining the debate. Shehzad Poonawala, national spokesperson of the BJP. Dr. Fuad Halim, leader of the CPIM. And Riju Datta, national spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress. And Riju Datta, highest ever polling has taken place. About 92% is the number as of now. Could be revised upwards. The first phase had 93.16%. Clearly, as a festival of democracy, this shows that people have come out and voted. The votes are sealed, but the bickering still stays. I just want to ask you, looking at the polls and the average, Are you a little nervous?
Nervous at all, Navika ji. First of all, good evening to you and to the entire panel. Because I have seen exit polls in 2019, 2021, 2024, and we know what in actuality what happened. I still personally believe, and it's my personal opinion, that exit polls are the biggest scam in Indian politics because there is no accountability. So people can say anything, do anything, and get away with it. But but the numbers that you are showing on your screen, the lowest in poll of polls that BJP has got in West Bengal is 139 seats. So by that margin, BJP is sweeping Bengal. So I have only, with all humility, I just want to say one thing. I heard what Mananiya Pradhan Mantri said in Uttar Pradesh, that he's going to score a hat-trick of elections very well. So the only thing I want to say is that if, forget 139, if BJP come 4th of May does not cross 100 seats, will Pradhan Mantri's representative on this channel or Pradhan Mantri say that I will resign from politics? Done, finished. Challenge accepted.
How many times has the opposition resigned because they lost the elections? Then all your opposition leaders would have resigned over the last several years.
नाविका जी, हमने तो हारा नहीं, इसलिए हमको पता नहीं है. बाकी जो है उनसे आप पूछ सकते हैं.
ओह, अच्छा, हारे हुए उससे दोस्ती करते हैं, हारते नहीं है. Well, I want to ask you, Anand Ranganathan, what is this fetish for resignation of the Prime Minister that the Trinamool Congress is ad nauseum repeating?
No, but first of all, good evening, Navika. Good evening to your viewers, millions of them, admirers, and my fellow panelists. Rijuda is wrong straight away, let me say this, because all the exit polls that he's doubting this time round are absolutely bang on. All of them are giving the same amount of seats to Congress party, 0. So I don't know why he's crying about. Number 2, at least today, and Rijuda is a scientist, a very dear friend, is my brother. At least today, I am so glad that he has admired and congratulated the Election Commission for orchestrating an election where in both phases, more people have voted in Bengal than the last elections. And when there are people
more
from his...
people than any election since in 1947.
Indeed, despite SIR, despite all the claims, despite them saying that this has become a garrison, this is a place which is like a militarized zone of 300,000 CRPF, it is because of that voters came out and said we are not going to be intimidated anymore. So thank you, Rijuda, for congratulating Ganesh Kumar and Election Commission.
Where have they congratulated? Ye aapne kya sun liya? Bola nahi jo sun liya.
I thought Rijuda congratulated in Bengali. I don't know Bengali, so I couldn't hear.
Rijuda, have you congratulated the Election Commission?
No, of course I have congratulated the Election Commission.
Thank you.
बहुत अच्छा काम किया. मेरा तो सिर्फ 2 आखिरी ख्वाहिश था, वो पूरा नहीं हुआ. When I went to cast my vote today, I was hoping to see Rafale jets or probably INS Vikramaditya very nearby. वो पूरा नहीं हुआ. बाकी तो fantastic job. People have voted in numbers, but I will say also, very dear friend, my elder brother, Dr. Ranganathan, you are a scientist. You should stick to saving lives, developing pioneer drugs. This TV and this politics is spoiling you, Dr. Ranganathan.
All right. Shehzad Poonawala raising his hand, and Shehzad Poonawala, क्या कर रहे हो भाई? आप राफेल छोड़ रहे हो इनके ऊपर, आपके साथ इलेक्शन कमीशन, सेंट्रल पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस, ED, CBI, सब कुछ, everything is with you, and Trinamool Congress is still winning the elections, they say.
Navika, today I don't have the pleasure of being with you in the studio, so at least let me begin by saying that democracy पे से टेप उड़ गया है. टुडे डेमोक्रेसी पे जो टेप लगाने की कोशिश की गई थी ना बंगाल में, वो टेप उड़ गई है. एंड वट एवर बी आर पॉलिटिकल परसुएशन लीनिंग्स, द फैक्ट दैट इन 49 years फर्स्ट टाइम बंगाल हैज सीन द लीस्ट अमाउंट ऑफ वायलेंस, and in 2 phases the elections have been done where 7-8 phases were required and where lakhs of people had to be deployed first and hundreds of people used to be killed. Today we have had less than 5 killings. I think one should also not be killed, but we have had a perfect election where the voter turnout. So I want to give an applause to the central forces, to our men and women in uniform, and to the Election Commission, the constitutional body. And with that, let me start my first few statements. Navika, see, today BJP का नाम थोड़ा change कर दीजिए. It is, of course, Bharatiya Janata Party, but I think after the exit polls, especially JVC exit poll, I will call it Bengali Janta Ki Pasand. Today, BJP has become Bengali Janta Ki Pehli Pasand. And Navika, one more thing I will say, because we are talking about the overall picture, because we see the entire picture of the nation. When we started this election, we were having 1 state out of 5 elections. Now we are having comfortably 3 or 4. I think it would be called GRWM. You know, there's a trend on Insta called GRWM. So let me explain what is GRWM in political terms. Growth in Kerala, return in Tamil Nadu, Vapsi in Puducherry, and mega victory in Assam and in Bengal. This is BJP's GRWM. And finally, I would say, and Mamta Didi is going Bahar. So this is Nicobar, Chocobar, and going Bahar. ये आज का, by the way, I'm applauding you for calling Fuad Aleem. ये कहीं के नहीं रहे, पर Times Now स्टूडियो में उनकी जगह सुरक्षित है. I thank you for that.
Well, Riju Datta will not allow anyone to speak.
No. Everybody can speak, but to my dear friend Shehzad, मैं ठीक है, चलो पहली बार मैंने उनके मालिक का नाम ले लिया तो सबको मिर्ची लग गई. चलो नरेंद्र मोदी जी को साइड रखते हैं. Let's have a one-on-one with my dear friend Shehzad. If BJP wins Bengal, I will not come on TV, and if BJP does not cross 100, Shehzad will not come on TV. चलो इतना तो बोल दो.
आपने पहले ही कह दिया है कि if the BJP wins, you will not come. Don't be a bad loser, Riju Datta. Whatever happens, you must come.
Accept it.
You must come.
अरे जब
Shehzad.
असल में बात ये है ना, before Shehzad comes in, these exit polls are very important because if Trinamool would have been leading in every
Navika, मुझे जवाब देने का अवसर भी दीजिए.
Let me just finish. You come in.
Riju has asked this question.
No, I'm finishing and then you come in.
खत्म कर दिया, अब खत्म हो गए.
10 seconds. Thank you, Shehzad, for 10 seconds. Yes. Thank you for 10 seconds. This exit poll trends is necessary for the BJP. You know why? Because if all this trend would have shown that Trinamool is winning with a huge mandate, BJP wouldn't have found counting agents come 4th of May. So I thank the exit polls for giving BJP
Okay, Riju Datta, now that is definitely not called overconfidence. That is called being realistic. What Shehzad is saying is overconfidence. Shehzad.
नाविका जी, रिजू दत्ता की हर चैलेंज को मैं स्वीकार करने को तैयार हूं, but only one condition. That on the 4th of May, when we win the elections, Riju Datta and his alliance won't crib that election commission I made us win. First, he give us the guarantee in writing.
Guarantee.
Give it to Navika in writing.
Okay,
you will not
guarantees have come in. Let me, 1 minute. Guarantees have come in. The elections are over. The votes are sealed. And now both of you can stop fighting with each other and take a deep breath. आलोम विलोम करिए, प्राणायाम करिए और सुनिए बाकियों को. अभी तक तो आप लोग बोलते जा रहे थे, अब सुन लीजिए. I want to ask Mr. Pradeep Gupta. Mr. Pradeep Gupta, you haven't released the West Bengal numbers. ये जो suspense आपका है ना, it is killing everybody. Can you please tell us what is happening in Bengal? Tectonic shifts are happening or more of the same is happening? Either which way, what do you think about the Election Commission, the Central Paramilitary Forces, as well as the Rafales and the warships, etc., that the Trinamool Congress has alluded to? What do you think is the difference all this has caused on the ground?
So, Navika ji, at Access Mindia, our methodology is very simple. We go to people face to face post-election and talk to them about their voting preferences, whom they voted for and why they voted to. But post first phase of polling, we have gone, myself has also gone there on the ground, and we could speak only 20 to 30% of total of the sample, what we try to achieve. And 70 to 80% people are not opening their lips, They are not willing to talk to us for whatsoever. So in those circumstances, it is very difficult and hard for us to project any kind of a prediction. Because if 70% people are not spoken out, we don't know what to do. We decided to hold on to it till second phase, which held today, and try and go again tomorrow if considering that both the phases are over, now election is over, we will try and talk to people. If we are able, or if we are able to succeed talking to them in our representative sample, we will be coming out with our numbers tomorrow.
Well, Dr. Fuad Halim. Dr. Fuad Halim, do you think it has been a free and fair election? And do you think the Trinamool Congress is nervous? Or do you think it is the BJP that is overestimating its magic in Bengal?
Well, my first comment is that the Election Commission should stand one day in silence and mourn that what we had achieved in our independence struggle, that the people of India will decide who their government will be, has been sacrificed by it. You got 34 lakh voters who have applied for education under the tribunal, of which about 1,600 have gone through the education, and 99.59% of them have been found to be valid and have the right to vote. Now, if you extrapolate that sample of 1,600 people to 34 lakhs, one can safely assume that almost 33,90,000 people have not been allowed to vote because of the incompetence and because of the conspiracy of the BJP central government, the TMC state government, and the Election Commission. The Supreme Court has categorically said that if any winning margin is less than those votes that will be reinstated after education, then those constituencies will be open to appeal for repolling. Now, this is the constitutional position that the shamefaced BJP, TMC, and the Election Commission have brought Bengal to. Now, we have to see in this context that if you sacrifice voters, and without voters, if you are going to have a vote, then the question of free and fair does not arise in any other context. The second point that I'd like to make over here is very clear that the 34 lakh voters who've been denied the right to vote, who are still under education, their family members, 3-4 people, they have gone
for the left parties, for the CPM, they will vote en masse, because if I look at the poll of polls,
that lesson
0 to 1 is what the CPM is getting. I think Dr. Fuad Halim, allow me, Harshvardhan Tripathi, बस वही 34 लाख लोग हैं, 34 लाख पीपल हैं जो एक्चुअली में सीपीएम के लिए वोट करते और चुनाव का नतीजा बदल जाता. क्या यही कहना चाह रहे हैं फुआद हलीम साहब?
नहीं नेविका जी, मुझे लगता है कि कम्युनिस्टों पे बात करना ये टाइम खराब करने से ज्यादा कुछ नहीं. और क्यों बात करनी चाहिए? क्या सचमुच बंगाल में सिर्फ और सिर्फ टीएमसी और बीजेपी की बात होनी चाहिए? ये तो राहुल गांधी ने भी कह दिया कि ममता बनर्जी का बैड गवर्नेंस नहीं होता तो भाजपा नहीं आती. वो पता नहीं क्यों उनको लगा कि आ ही गई, पहले ही उन्होंने कह दिया सेकंड फेज पोलिंग के. लेकिन रिजू दत्ता जी ने अभी जो बात कही वो कमाल है. ये बड़ा एकदम बहुत एग्रेसिव रहते हैं, बहुत एकदम से खींच के लाएंगे, पकड़ के लाएंगे, 4 के बाद हिम्मत हो. तो अभी उन्होंने एक बात कह दी. उन्होंने कहा अगर ये एग्जिट पोल्स नहीं आते तो उनको काउंटिंग के वक्त एजेंट नहीं मिलते. आप सोचिए नविका जी, नेशनल टेलीविजन पर इसको वो मेडल की तरह, बैज की तरह लगा रहे हैं कि जो उनके सामने 77 सीट्स पर पिछली बार जीत चुकी है, उस पार्टी को काउंटिंग एजेंट नहीं मिलते. और उसके बाद ये क्वेश्चन करते हैं कि क्यों 2400 बटालियंस ऑफ सीएपीएफ वहां डिप्लॉय की गई हैं. आप इसी से अनुमान लगाइए. और उसके बाद ये सरकाजम करेंगे कि नहीं वो तो राफेल आ जाता, थोड़ा सा और कोई आ जाता. रिजू दत्ता जी, डेमोक्रेसी का मतलब होता है कि चुनाव वो बिल्कुल भी नहीं जीत रहा हो तो भी कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी के नेता को नविका जी ने पैनल में रखा हुआ है, और कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी का भी जो काउंटिंग एजेंट होगा वो आपके एजेंट के बराबर खड़ा होकर, चाहे उसको 2 वोट मिले या 2 लाख वोट मिले. ये दिखाता है कि आपने बंगाल को बना.
जवाब दे दूं?
लेकिन एक मिनट मैं अपनी बात खत्म कर देता हूं, फिर आप बोले. आपको तो बोल आपके आगे कौन बोलेगा? आप तो धमका ही रहे हैं पिछले कुछ समय से. लेकिन जो बंगाल में दिखा है, फर्स्ट फेज के बाद लगा टीएमसी को कि अब तो मामला हाथ से चला गया. और उसके बाद सोचिए, पहला मर्डर किसका होता है? कांग्रेस वर्कर देवाशीष चटर्जी, अगर मैं सही नाम नहीं ले रहा हूं, नाम ठीक कर लीजिए, लेकिन कांग्रेस वर्कर का मर्डर होता है. उसके बाद क्या होता है? जहां जहां टीएमसी के स्ट्रांग मैन्स हैं वहां पर धमकी, वहां पर घर में घुसकर लोगों को धमकाना, वहां और कुछ नहीं सूझा. तो जो ईसी का ऑब्जर्वर है जयपाल शर्मा, उसके खिलाफ बाकायदा महिलाओं से एफआईआर कराने के लिए कहा जाता है। आप सोचिए जरा, और किसी राज्य में ये हुआ क्या? और ये वो स्टेट मशीनरी कर रही जिसके पास स्टेट के ऑफिसर्स नहीं थे, जुडिशियल ऑफिसर लगाकर सुप्रीम कोर्ट को रिव्यू कराना पड़ा।
और
अच्छा, आप जवाब दे दें।
और ईवीएम का टेप आप भूल गए।
बिल्कुल,
ईवीएम पर तो टेप भी लग गया था। रिजू दत्ता रिस्पॉन्ड।
हाँ, जवाब देते हैं। अब किसे कहते हैं धमकाना चमकाना? सीआरपीएफ हमारे जवान हैं, हमारे देश को सुरक्षित रखते हैं। इनको बीजेपी अपने गुंडों की तरह यूज कर रही है। वीडियोस चलाइए, आपके पास नहीं है तो मैं भेज।
Sorry, I object to this. I object to this. You will either turn against the armed forces or the paramilitary forces. Unfair, Riju Datta. Unfair, Riju Datta. These same people gave your MP security when they are in the rest of the country, sir.
I think I have the freedom of speech on your show. Let me finish and then everybody can go all up in arms. Our MP, when you talked about MP, our woman MP Mithali Bagh was attacked and hospitalized in CRPF cordon. I don't know, Times Now probably has not got the visuals. If you want, I can
CRPF Jawan.
forward it.
Navika,
Let me
please,
finish.
1 second.
Okay.
This is the just please.
Your facts are being contested by Anand Ranganathan. Anand Ranganathan.
No, despite Riju,
Are you
please.
contesting the facts?
No, 1 second. And as I said, he's a very dear friend. He just met me day before yesterday at the airport. He's saying कि अरे आप साइंस भी करते हो, पॉलिटिक्स कमेंट्री भी करते हो, मैं दोनों नहीं कर पाता, इसलिए टीएमसी का स्पोक्स पर्सन बन गया। तो मैं इनको ये बताना चाहता हूं कि अभी 1 घंटा पहले नाविका टाइम्स नाउ पे ही वाज स्प्रेडिंग फेक न्यूज दैट सीआरपीएफ जवान स्लैप्ड समवन and that person died. Will you publicly apologize on TV?
Can I say this on record?
Will you apologize for that?
Yes.
I am telling on record again, in Uday Narayanpur, Mr. Dolu, an
That
81-year-old
was
man,
fake
was
news
slapped
and
he died.
Fake news.
Navika, please.
Well, that news has been contested. Shehzad Poonawala responding to you.
This is unacceptable. Our
Shehzad Poonawala responding to you. Shehzad.
Navika, not just that, let me bring it. Navika, let me also bring it to your attention that in the Mithali Bagh case, the preliminary report says that it was an internal rift of the TMC that led to the attack. And Gunda kaun hota hai? Manirul Islam, zameen mein gaad denge. Rajiv Banerjee, TMC will fight till the last drop. Please, Navika, let me complete. Navika, let me complete. Navika, this kind of hoodlumism cannot go on.
Riju Datta, when you speak, Shehzad Poonawala has not interrupted you. I request you to extend the same courtesy to him.
Then you will make me finish my point after Shehzad speaks.
Baba, don't show me your finger and don't threaten me, Riju Datta. क्या हो गया आपको?
मैं बोल रहा हूँ।
All right. आपको मैं 4 बार समय दे चुकी हूँ. अभी भी आप ऐसे कर रहे हैं.
Navika, let me complete. Navika, firstly, Anand Ranganathan is 110% right. This kind of fake rumor was spread. It turned out to be a fake news. Secondly, in the Bagh case also it is TMC leaders. Thirdly, Mr. Firad Hakim, हाथ पैर तोड़ देंगे इलेक्शन कमीशन के. कल्याण बैनर्जी उंगली काट देंगे. मनीरुल इस्लाम जमीन में गाड़ देंगे. ममता बनर्जी आग लग जाएगी. This is गुंडागर्दी and this गुंडागर्दी चलबे ना. अब ये गुंडागर्दी चलबे ना. परिवर्तन has happened in Bengal.
Well,
Can I now speak?
Yes, Riju Datta, 10 seconds.
30 seconds.
Okay.
20 seconds. I am stating on record, Uday Narayanpur, an 81-year-old man, died because he was slapped by a CRPF Jawan. Second, a cancer patient, a woman, was beaten up when the CRPF charged this village. In Falta, Hindu women were lathi charged, and in Arambagh, a 7-year-old boy was lathi charged under CRPF. I am stating the facts. I have the videos. If Times Now allow me, I will forward it to Ms. Navika Kumar right now.
Your facts have been contested as fake news. We'll wait for the last word to come from the election commission or responsible people. But at this moment, if you look at the numbers 136 to 150 is what the poll of polls gives Trinamool Congress, and the BJP at 139 to 153. Slight edge going in there. Sanjay Jha, what do you make of this? BJP, TMC, that's where the fight is. Communists and Congress not in the picture. And the election commission has got a certificate. from the Congress party. Rahul Gandhi has already called the Trinamool Congress a corrupt and a party that has failed in governance. There's absolutely no contesting these facts as far as Bengal is concerned.
Navika, as far as West Bengal is concerned, the big takeaway for me over the last several months has been that besides the 27 lakh or 34 lakh, we can dispute that, the number of people who should have been voting, people who had passports, people who featured in the 2002 electoral rolls, people who actually voted in the Lok Sabha election with the document proving their citizenship, they could not vote, including 65 individuals whom the Election Commission deemed very legitimate to be conducting the elections.
Well,
I mean,
Sanjay Jha, you've been to various forums, including the Supreme Court of India. The matter is there. Right now, we are discussing the polls, the exit polls. But after Bengal, the other Waterloo is in Tamil Nadu. Pradeep Gupta with us, and I really want him to give us his explanation for Tamil Nadu, and our focus on Tamil Nadu, where the battle this time is no longer a straight fight. It is a three-cornered contest. On the one side is the DMK alliance, the incumbent alliance led by MK Stalin pitching for continuity. On the other side, the super NDA powered by the BJP and the AIADMK going for an all-out comeback. And then comes the disruptor, and that is film star Vijay with his party TVK. A wild card entry that has injected uncertainty into a traditionally bipolar contest in this state. Let's take a look at the poll numbers, and this is where Access My India really stands out. DMK 92 to 110 by Access My India, TVK 98 to 120, AIADMK 20 to 32. I want to ask you, Pradeep Gupta Sahab, you've set the cat amongst the pigeons with this. Are you sure? Because everybody was saying TVK Vijay is a film star, women and youth appeal is there, but he does not have a cadre, urban phenomenon, may get a lot of people in the rallies, but will not convert into seats. You're giving him 98 to 120 in poll position, maybe the next chief minister of Tamil Nadu.
Yes, Navika ji, maybe, and the reason precisely for this is twofold. One is the gender, where among the female vote, among the women vote, he's scoring way higher than the men, 38 to and versus the 38 among the males. The second most important thing among the age group, which is 18 year of age to 39 year of age, which contributes 42% of voting population, 42% of the voting population, there he's sweeping. But in 40 plus category, he's not doing so well, not doing so good, where the DMK alliance is doing good. So this is the two precise demography which is making TVK or the Vijay coming in forefront, I would say, in my poll. But you must see the lower range of Vijay, which is 98, and DMK 110. That is also we must discuss. But having said that, TVK is doing pretty well here, and both the party, both the alliance, DMK and AIADMK, losing their vote to him.
Both of them, but obviously the AIADMK losing more votes to TVK than the DMK. JVC, the other pollster, outlier, two outlier polls, and both outlier pollsters with us, Pradeep Gupta giving it to TVK, you're giving it to ADMK. Which one should we believe?
No, see, as far as I'm concerned, what I am seeing is that there is a rural-urban divide. As far as rural Tamil Nadu is concerned, because 51%, there are around 140 constituencies where 51% of the constituency is rural. And as far as my travels are concerned, yes, Pradeep Gupta is right. From 18 to 30, not 39, 18 to 30, in the urban pockets, this support is probably 55 to 60% or even 70% to Vijay. But we need to understand above 35 years, the men in the rural areas, they are the silent supporters of ADMK. Because I've seen several times when ADMK comes as an opposition, even in 2016, look at the kind of predictions they made. They all said DMK is coming back to power, but ADMK came back to power. In 2021, after 10 years of anti-incumbency, and there was a spirited campaign by Stalin, then also everybody said DMK is wiped off, but they won 75 seats. ADMK is wiped off, but they won 75 seats. So media pollsters tend to underestimate
ADMK.
as far as ADMK is concerned.
Do you agree, Pradeep Gupta? AIADMK is
My sample size is
underestimated.
2.3.
You are overestimating. He is underestimating. What's? Please give us an average number. Where are you agreeing, both of you?
Navika ji, this is my number. Our methodology is very simple. We go to each and every assembly constituency, do the representative sampling, and we talk to people. And the good news here is that we could get these 5-6 days post polling in Tamil Nadu to do the needful, and whatever people have suggested, these are the numbers.
Okay, so Vijay, the next Chief Minister, Saravanan, where does that leave the DMK? If you take the average number, most polls give it really to the DMK for the third time, maybe a hat trick. But there are two outliers, one handing it over to TVK, the other handing it over to AIADMK.
Yeah.
Are you paying any attention to these outlier polls?
Yeah, I think we'll have to reject them. We don't have to pay any attention to these two polls because we have seen the trend. The trend in the pre-polls, all the pre-polls suggested that DMK is going to have a comfortable victory, and most of the exit polls also have said that we are going to have a comfortable victory. See, Mr. Vijay is acting as a vote cutter and he is spoiling the party for the ADMK. They are going to have meltdown. ADMK is going to have a meltdown. That is what we are getting the ground reports. The sense we get from the ground is that. And we are making a comeback, and it's going to be a very comfortable victory. And these numbers are very, very conservative. We are looking at 180 plus. We will clearly win 180 plus.
180 plus.
Yes, that is what we are going to get.
Sir, take 234. It makes it very simple. Sabha Naqvi. Sabha, I'm coming to you. Sabha Naqvi, how do you look at Tamil Nadu, and do you think that these outlier polls can have a future, or do you think the average number which gives advantage to DMK?
Navika, we just have to wait because polls are so often wrong. We are talking about, first of all, in West Bengal, tell me the time when polls got it right. Sure, just mention the year when it got it right. I don't think maybe the pollster can tell us. Was there ever an occasion when you or any other pollster... Okay, Pradeep Gupta can tell us. Did he get it right? Did anyone get Bengal right? Tamil Nadu is always a closely fought election. I think it's completely unpredictable. The only reason that I'm listening to Pradeep Gupta is because he's saying he went back and re-polled. You know, even though he's also one of the pollsters who predicted 400 par, he has often also got things right. So he says he went and re-polled, and he's come out with an outrageous sort of a thing which is upsetting everyone. So maybe he's confident of what he's saying, and because he does go to the ground and actually do the kind of polling. That's why he's not giving us a figure.
So does JVC. All of them go to the ground, but why? How they come up with absolutely divergent numbers, I don't understand. Anand, now don't blame me that the Ranganathan hasn't got a chance to speak on Tamil Nadu.
Just tell me, when is the last time pollsters got it right on Bengal? Tell me that. I have one question. Can the pollster tell us?
Let's come back to Tamil Nadu for once. Yeah.
So thank you, first of all. I really appreciate giving a Tamilian some voice, albeit very faint one.
I mean, I have actually spoken once in the program, but carry on.
Inexact science. Let's be very honest about it, because it depends on what the person, the voter, tells you. Now, it's out of your hands. You are scrupulously sticking to your idea, to your algorithm. But at the end of the day, your results, although completely scrupulous and right, are based on what the voter tells you. Now, we know from history, voters are not exactly, sometimes they go opposite of what they've actually voted for.
Yeah, they have a bone to pick with the pollsters, maybe
there,
Harshvardhan
maybe out of
Tripathi ji.
fear, maybe out of whatever. I mean,
or just to keep us guessing and prove us wrong all the time.
No one is telling me when
JVC and
don't take the
Pradeep
blame
Gupta.
for it.
I'm
Yes.
not getting into this.
No one
case.
is telling me when Bengal anyone got it right.
सभा ने जो सवाल पूछा उसका जवाब लोगों को जानना चाहिए। 2011 सारे के सारे पोलस्टर लगभग सही साबित हुए। 2016 सारे पोलस्टर्स के डायरेक्शन परफेक्ट थे। कहां मिस किया? 2021 ओनली। 11, 16 और 26 कई लोग कह रहे हैं 11 जैसा है।
11 जैसा है because yes,
19 I had predicted. I have a point. 21 I didn't. I said 19 seats and 86 seats.
AIDMK image of MGR, AIDMK image of Jayalalitha is altogether different from the image of Edappadi with AIDMK. See, part of AIDMK is poached by BJP. BJP's present leader is poached from AIDMK. That's one aspect. Then TVK aspect is an offshoot of BJP only, is a creation of BJP. And that assignment was initially given to Rajinikanth. When they failed it, they picked up Vijay. Is a C team of BJP.
Okay. Kovai Satyan of the AIADMK with us. Kovai Satyan of the AIADMK with us. And Kovai Satyan, I want to ask you, has TVK eaten into the AIADMK's votes?
Good evening, Navika, and good evening to my fellow panelists. While the person who had done this survey has done it only once, I have finished 15 surveys in-house. I am sitting on 15 surveys from the day my leader started his campaign last year in July. We clearly understand where the trend is moving to, which is the age group that is leaning towards which party. So we are more updated and we have more data and we have better way of analyzing the data, what is happening in Tamil Nadu. So it is EPS all the way in 2026 and May 4th evening you will get to know that he is going to be sworn in as the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. It is a bipolar politics in Tamil Nadu and there are some noisemakers who are the new entrants and they will split votes from every corner and every party, not enough to claim enough MLAs to dictate what will be the course of action in 2026. So let us be very clear. We have seen these kinds of dynamics and good luck to all these surveyors who has to run their shop for the next couple of years. So you'll get to know who is right, who is wrong.
Couple of years, sir, only for the next 4 or 5 days. 4 or 5 days, sir. We don't need couple of years. 4-5 दिन में हम लोग ये सब discuss करेंगे. On 4th of May, we will have the results. Don't worry, sir. Don't take it to heart. We mean no. We have no ill will towards anybody. But after Bengal and Tamil Nadu, we have 2 more states coming up, which is Kerala and Assam we should look at. Moving on to these 2 other states, Assam and Kerala, 2 very different battlegrounds connected by one common thread. A real contest for the Congress party in Kerala. The fight sticks to its classic binary, the Left Democratic Front versus the United Democratic Front. The Left Front has tried to hard sell its governance track record and welfare delivery, but the Congress-led UDF wants to ride the anti-incumbency. And there is an aggressive campaign also that has been led by BJP, and powering it is Rajiv Chandrasekhar. Will this translate into higher margins, tighter margins on the 4th of May? We'll have to wait and watch. Let's take a look at the Kerala numbers, and the Kerala numbers of the vote of the poll of polls clearly show the BJP, the BJP not quite getting anywhere there at fighting numbers. The UDF has a clear advantage. All polls in one direction that the UDF is winning. 73 to 84 is the average. 55 to 65 is the LDF. 1 to 4 is the NDA. Others at 0 to 1. UDF forming the government. Some respite, I think, for Mr. Rahul Gandhi. He'll have another state getting into his kitty. And the trouble will only begin after they have won these seats because Sabha Naqvi, so many Congress leaders will be vying for the Chief Minister's chair.
Fought before it, there has been factionalism on display, and now there will be.
So how many contenders for the Chief Minister's post?
Well, one of them is not the contender, though he was the biggest contender in his mind, was Shashi Tharoor. Number one, he's not a contender.
But there are others. There is Chenitala, there is Satisan, and there is K.C. Venugopal, who everybody is talking about.
Everybody wants, a lot of people in Delhi want him to go so that he goes away. He's a gatekeeper to Rahul Gandhi, that he'll go. That is the plan.
Priyanka Gandhi.
Karnataka. Still it's not resolved. D.K. Shivkumar is still coming to Delhi. Another 2 years elections are going to come.
All right. Let's take a look now at the Assam numbers that are coming up. And poll of polls on Assam gives it one direction to the BJP. 87 to 99 is the range. 23 to 33 for the Congress party. 2 to 6 for the AIUDF. Others at 0 to 1. BJP or the NDA forming government in Assam. Sanjay Jha, another opportunity lost for the Congress party in Assam. And what happens to Pawan Khera is the big question everybody wants to know.
Well, Navika, I'll be very honest. If these numbers hold, or even if these numbers don't hold and the Congress loses again 3 times, I think it will be a very disappointing performance, because the Congress actually won 3 times before getting into this very dismal track record. And I think Assam, to my opinion, was the election that a lot of us were hoping that the Congress actually upsets the apple cart of the BJP, because it was a very ugly campaign, in my opinion. The Election Commission should be really talked about because of the gerrymandering that was done, which I do believe has had an impact. It was not a level playing field election. Let me mention that very clearly. But the failure of the Congress has been...
You know, when you say that, you're doing a disservice, because BJP won 2 elections before this gerrymandering that you accuse them of. Shehzad Poonawalla, is this something they like to bring up time and again just to take away the glory of the victories that the BJP has? Because before delimitation also you have won 2 elections. This will be the hat trick if you win.
Absolutely. And Navika, just imagine that in 2014, the BJP as a party, Sanjay, please, I get very limited time to speak. And I request you to not
I'm lowering
interrupt
other faders, Shehzad Poonawalla.
Navika, may I please speak? Navika, the fact of the matter is that please understand, whether it is the BJP in Assam, we were nowhere in 2014. In Bengal, we were nowhere till 2016. Tremendous growth has taken place. In Assam, one model is clear, that there is pro-incumbency vote for BJP. BJP coming back to power in state one after the other time, whether it's Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, Gujarat, or in Assam or in Tripura, is not a fluke. It means our PDA means performance delivery aspiration. HBS, Himanta Biswa Sarma, has delivered on development. HBS has delivered on social welfare. His social welfare is actually a model that is implemented across the country of empowering women. Where did it start? It started in Assam. And therefore, Sanjay Jha can keep writing it off. They deployed Priyanka Vadra there. And then they had Pawan Khera make the most outrageous allegations against the daughter of Assam. Now he's hiding like a bhigi billi. But one thing is for sure, that Assam is showing what BJP can do, transform states and deliver on good governance, and also have a good government on national security. And that is why HBS is coming back to power.
Give the BJP that, Harshvardhan Tripathi, the way Assam तीसरी बार अगर BJP जीतती है, जिस तरह के outrageous इल्जाम लगाए गए थे, दोनों तरफ से लगाए गए थे, but against the chief minister there is no fact against his wife. The fact that Pawan Khera did press conferences now not to be seen anywhere, the fact that Gaurav Gogoi, Rahul Gandhi's handpicked man, sent there, hasn't been able to deliver. ये क्या दिखाता है?
नवका जी, मैं तो समझ नहीं पा रहा हूं कि कांग्रेस क्या चुनाव लड़ रही थी क्या असम में। कांग्रेस की पूरी लीडरशिप, गौरव गोगोई माइनस गौरव गोगोई, सब तो हेमंता बिश्व शर्मा के साथ चले आए थे। और उसके बाद पवन
प्रियंका गांधी वाड्रा कैंपेन की,
प्रियंका गांधी को सिर्फ कैंपेन इंचार्ज नहीं थी, टिकट किसको मिलेगा किसको नहीं मिलेगा, उस स्क्रीनिंग कमेटी की भी वही जिम्मेदारी उनके पास थी। सवाल ये है कि क्या पवन खेड़ा को लगा या राहुल कांग्रेस को लगा कि ये एकमात्र तरीका हो सकता है कि हेमंत विश्व शर्मा की पत्नी के ऊपर इस तरह के फर्जी आरोप लगाकर हम चुनाव जीत लें। और असम में सचमुच कांग्रेस पार्टी को रिविजिट करना चाहिए, जो जरा सोचना चाहिए कि तरुण गोगोई की पार्टी वो आज कहां खड़ी हो गई है, किस हाल में है, कि शायद उसका किसी हिस्से में, मतलब असम के किसी भी हिस्से में कांग्रेस पार्टी कहीं बचेगी तो ये बहुत बड़ी बात होगी। हाँ, पवन खेड़ा भी बचेंगे, ये भी बड़ी बात होगी,
बड़ी बात होगी। वेल, इफ आई लुक एट द ओवरऑल पिक्चर, if exit polls are to be depended upon, then the BJP performing very well in Bengal, and JVC gives Tamil Nadu to the NDA, then BJP really goes gung-ho into the next elections which are coming in 5 big states: Uttarakhand, UP, Gujarat, Punjab, Goa, Himachal, all of these states. BJP will be a major gainer, Sabha, next year in 2027. Of course, we are looking at the national picture.
Look, Navika, let me just phrase it this way. If the TMC and the DMK are defeated, they are ideologically the most significant opposition parties right now in India. Because the Congress is, it's a national party, but it's still finding its way right now. If these two are defeated, embedded parties, the DMK comes with its Dravida ideology. It is the strongest proponent of that. It is a party that works at the grassroots. The Trinamool Congress is the strongest example of sub-nationalism succeeding, of the Bengali identity.
Yeah,
and the most important woman leader, self-made, not inherited. Also, the TMC is led by Mamata Banerjee. So these are and plus these are big important states.
And the left will be wiped out from the map of India. That's the big one. And if the BJP wins West Bengal, the third largest state in India in terms of seats, it will provide a big fillip. TMC's defeat in West Bengal will spell, you know, a big boon to the BJP in terms of its.
If these numbers hold, poll of polls number, the CM will be from BJP.
And then this is the run-up. And look at the manner in which the BJP starts preparing. The BJP and its attack on the Aam Aadmi Party, two-third going, is not just Punjab, it's planning for Gujarat as well. And if they win these elections, if the predictions are right, Lok Sabha election play is already on the cards, ladies and gentlemen. That's when they start doing their homework. The opposition, well, if these predictions hold, what is the opposition going to do? What happens to the India alliance? Will it be shredded to bits? Will it be relegated really to the background? And will the BJP strength also increase in the Rajya Sabha if it wins Bengal and Assam? Well, all of those options open up, but we'll wait for the 4th of May. That is Result Day Live with Times Now, the election news headquarters. For now, thank you very much for joining me on the News Hour and thanking all my panelists who will be with me on the 4th of May. Thank you and good night.